Caught me off guard there a little bit, Ron.
Oh, sorry, George.
That's all right. I was daydreaming anyway. Glad you brought me back into this.
Well.
One of the things when I do, when I call them or I go see them and I talk to them, one of the first things I tell them is how I appreciate them being a customer, and it means a lot to us, you know, because it feeds me and my family, you know, and you know, we really appreciate that. And I say, but it's come to a time where we have to raise our prices, and I want to explain to you why. I want to tell you what's going on. I mean, the cost of our mowers have gone up, and you see the equipment we run. You know, it's very nice equipment. We're not broke down all the time like we used to be years ago, and we're always here. We're so dependable, and you know that. It's just that the cost of everything with the fuel and you can't take anything into a shop without them charging you $80 an hour to work on it. You know, there's the insurance goes through the roof. You just name off all these things. The inflation itself. Go to the store and buy a case of eggs or a case of beer. In my case, that was pretty clever of me. Did you know this? Really case of eggs, case of beer. In my case, it's generally the beer, but regardless, look how much it's gone up. I can't tell them it's the beer. I can't tell them that's the reason. But inflation, all these other things, and most of the time they understand that. You know, I mean, there's sometimes they're not going to understand it, and that's okay. You know, you don't want to lose anybody. I get it, but at the same time, if I'm not making money, get out of it. Just get out of it. Bite the bullet and do it. You know, you might have bid them too low to begin with. I can remember one of the companies that I bought out, they were way too low on their prices. And I should have, I didn't know enough about the numbers back then to pay attention to it. And I should have known. I mean, he really had the prices beat down. And when I went in and tried to raise all of them, well, I lost a ton of them. You know, it was one of those things. But I was a new guy too, you know, to them. Whereas if you mowed them for a year or two, if they really like you, they're going to make this easy. And you know the other thing to remember, Ron? If they're assholes to begin with and they treat you like crap to begin with, who gives a shit?
Yes.
Raise them. If they don't like you, tough. They're down the road. And I know you guys don't want to hear that right away, and you're like, oh, I got to keep every customer I have because I'm up to 17. Yeah. No, you don't have to keep everyone you have. That's my point. Ron?
Well, cool.
To you.
Thanks, George.
No.
But we used to be the same way at one point.
We did. We did. Until we learned you don't have to.
Because you find yourself so worried about losing this one customer that you're probably not making any money on him anyway, because just like George said earlier, you know, he always wants you to do this or do that. You know, next thing you know, a 15-minute job turns into be 30 minutes every week. Well, you know, you could actually be doing one extra customer in the time you're spending with him. But, you know, if you let them guys go, you're more apt to get into the next one. You know, don't think you have to keep them just because you're starting your business, because you're probably going to get 2 better customers just because you don't have to put up with him.
Thank you, Ron. And that's exactly true. We just had one case where we lost 6 stores, commercial properties, and we turned around and we picked up a big complex, I think that same day.
Yes.
And, you know, I told Ron, I said, look at that. One door closes, another one opens. That happens all the time. So don't worry about it. More will come. Biggest thing, stay on top of your advertising, your marketing, to keep that revolving door, to keep those calls coming in. After a while, that's a good point, because if you only do a little bit of marketing, you only have a select few customers to choose from, because you've got to land pretty much everybody you get because you're not getting many calls. But once you get to the stage where we're at, where it's a constant, almost a headache, because you get so many calls every day that you almost kind of weed through them, and that's a good spot to be, because we just went out and bid one today that was $150 for this lady, and she thought I shot her leg off. And are you kidding me? She's in $1 million house, driving a BMW, and she couldn't afford $150 a month, and I didn't care.
It was ridiculous,
and I didn't care. 5 years ago, I probably would have been, oh, please, lady, you know.
But, please, we'll do it a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah, I'll do it for, how's $50? Will that be okay?
Yeah.
To hell with that, man. You don't have to do that, you guys. Don't do it. So, anyway, the excuses. Let's move on to the excuses. I love the excuse part of everything. And you get this, and this is probably the #1 thing that I hear, especially with the elderly, is I'm on a fixed income. Can't afford that. I get that about the fixed income thing. I really do, and I understand that. So that's a golden rule that you can't monkey with. They do only have so much, so they do have to watch how they spend it, you know. But it's the other ones. Oh, you know, how about this one? I'm recently divorced.
You hear that quite a bit. Well, yeah.
Go ahead, Rod. You should be able to handle that one pretty good.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When you get divorced, not just once, but twice, you can't even afford grass, much more than hire somebody to come in here and cut it for you.
Idiot.
I know, but good thing I lived in the desert that last one. I didn't have any grass.
Yeah, well, here's the point with that whole thing.
Well,
if they do divorce you, they should have all your money. There's no reason why they can't pay us
I
more.
know. Next time it happens to me, I'm calling a lawn care service because she'll have my money.
She'll have all the money in the world.
Because she's not going to be calling us.
Yeah, because she just took it all from him. Twice. That's why you ended up here with me. All right. So anyway, but not in the budget. How many times have you heard that? It's just not in the budget.
There again, we just heard that today.
She's in $1 million home, driving the BMW. She's got, what has she got? She's got a pool boy, because her pool is absolutely sparkling.
Yes.
She's got the pool guy. She's got a guy that comes and picks up dog shit out of her yard. Believe it or not, look these guys up. They exist. Actually, one of them's a friend of ours.
Yes.
And he's got 2 trucks, one in Orlando, one here in Melbourne. And he goes around picking up dog crap for people. But good for him. He found a business and he's in it. Then some of these people have Mary maids coming and going, cleaning their house, because God forbid they do any cleaning. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. Geez. How many times have you seen them come in with their dry cleaning van pull up?
Oh, yeah, dry cleaning van.
I've never dry cleaned anything in my life. The closest I ever got to that was bringing it out in the sink.
Pet grooming, pull in the driveway.
Oh, I know. Pet grooming, yeah. Bring your pet up, put it in this van, they trim it all up, and like once a month or something, they do that with their dogs. Really? Dogs get pedicures, all that crap. I never knew that. There's big business in that. Didn't know it. But let's stay focused. Then there's the pest control guys. Everybody down here's got a pest control guy. They also got guys like True Green that come out and work on their properties and, you know, spray their lawns for weeds and insects, all that kind of stuff. Then there's the irrigation guys, of course. Then there's, the people. Who are those people that come around and wash their sidewalks for them, wash their house for them, wash their windows for them? Mm-hmm. Let's not forget about their mechanics. And let's not forget about those fancy restaurants that they eat in. But hey, they don't have the money to pay you an extra $20 a month to go out there, work your ass off, sweat, bust a nut in that lawn. Just the other day, who do we talk to that told us, they called us for a bid, and they said something happened to their lawn guy. I said, well, we hear that all the time. And I started to tell her, well, the reason that you generally hear that is because they weren't making enough money, and that's why they just vanished and you haven't heard from them. She corrected me. She said he had heat stroke out in the lawn, and one of the neighbors spotted him 3 weeks ago, and they haven't seen him since. Well, maybe he died. I don't know. But here's the thing. Look at what you go through working out in that heat. And, you know, not to mention sun cancer, you know, skin cancer, things like that. All the things, all the shit that flies around, gets stuck in your eye. You got to go in and get that pulled out, or, you know, things that hit you and you're working. You got bit by a snake. I mean, look at all this shit.
I know. I did get bit by a snake.
Oh, I know. Look how bad it screwed up his face, Joe.
Yeah. See? It's not normal anymore.
Oh, I know. Well, it made you more handsome. You were pretty ugly before.
Well, I was damn ugly before, but thank God for Botox after the snake bite.
Oh, I know. Well, that cost us a pretty penny. But here again, guys, don't be afraid to raise your prices. No. Get to the profit margin. Call it a day.
Yes.
Now, was that not... Now, I bet you wish you would never have watched this, huh? I bet you wish you went to another channel now, don't you? Oh, yeah, you do. Well, we'll learn next time.
We told you. We gave you your chance.
Thanks for taking it like a man. This has been George and Ron.
Bye.
See ya.